Hi, my name is Anastasia, and today I'm going to be reflecting on where my current leadership capability sits against the autonomy of high potential classification, areas I'd like to improve in, and how I plan to improve such areas. Oh, that was bad. Now, I wanted to begin by exploring two questions that have been discussed within the HAS 233 readings. 1. How does a person develop into a leader? And 2. What is the ideal leadership style? Scholars adopting a traits-based perspective, such as Zakaro, argue that people are born with specific attributes which influence their ability to adopt leadership training or assignments. According to Halach, such traits can be found in different leadership styles. For example, a democratic style reflects a cooperative trait, whilst an autocratic style reflects assertiveness. George et al. And Shimara and Ellman challenged this idea by adopting a life story perspective and argue that leadership development occurs during the introduction of organisational changes and setbacks. In fact, it is during these life events that a leader is required to use a source of inner strength and make hard decisions. Whilst a traits-based approach is a useful broad framework for understanding leadership effectiveness, in my view it's not specific enough, nor does it take into account the individual circumstances or contextual differences, whereby a one-size-fits-all approach is inappropriate to effectively lead. With reference to my own leadership capability, a key example of where I was required to show leadership was during my recent internship with Project Everest in Malawi. Whilst working on a health project, my team set a goal to hold a community meeting to obtain questionnaire data from community members regarding their access to health information. This meeting was critical for the future of the project, as it would determine whether or not we could go on to the next stage. Although the initial plan was to carry out the meeting as a team, as with many other roadblocks in developing countries, this wasn't the case. After sitting around for over an hour in a local community hall with still no show of any locals, my team was starting to get frustrated and concerned that we would not make it in time for our next meeting. A cycle of questions such as, "Oh, what do we do?" followed with, I don't know, stop asking me," started to emerge. It was obvious that no one wanted to make a decision, which would not only cost us 2 meetings, but it would also result in wasted time. Therefore, with the initial goal in mind, I decided to stand up and suggest to the team that I would be willing to stay back with the translator and facilitate the community meeting. Although this decision may not have been the best one, as I know I get quite nervous when under pressure, it was the only productive action I could think of. After applying a democratic style of leadership by consulting with the team on this decision, they were more than happy to go ahead and drive off to the next meeting. Eventually, after 2 hours, the community members arrived and I was able to successfully collect the information needed. Personally, this made me feel quite proud of myself as I had achieved something out of my comfort zone. When reflecting on my own leadership capability within this example, one key classification that acts as a benchmark includes Reddy et al.'s autonomy of high potential, which is made up of 4 X factors. Given that in my situation, I was able to stand up and make a difficult decision which resulted in putting the team first while at the same time going outside my comfort zone, I believe that this indicates the first factor, drive to excel. I was also able to demonstrate Cadillac learning capability, X factor 2, by being proactive and taking the initiative to propose a solution to the problem. As I had travelled for the first time overseas by myself and was able to immerse myself into a new situation and new culture, I was also able to reflect an enterprising spirit, so X factor 3. However, my ability to demonstrate X factor 4, dynamic sensors, is an area for improvement. In my example, I was hesitant to speak up sooner because I was afraid that my decision may not have been accepted by the team due to my lack of confidence and experience in public speaking. Consequently, it took me too long to voice my opinion, resulting in wasted time and rush into the next meeting. Therefore, it is important to improve on this X factor as it affects my overall ability to regulate leadership skills required to guide a team in a positive direction. I believe that there is a need for myself to become more assertive and more confident in my abilities, and as well as avoiding self-doubt. According to Halach, this can be achieved through adopting an autocratic style of leadership. Through actions such as using I statements, such as I think, I feel, as well as being honest in my opinions and not overthinking the consequences. This has the potential to help enhance my leadership capability as well as helping to fulfill the X factor criteria. However, whilst meeting this criteria may be necessarily good in this example, it may not necessarily suit other examples. This is due to the fact that every situation is unique and requires a different leadership approach and action. Thank you.